All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Maxwell McGee here at the PAX Prime Indie Games Mega Booth. Today I'm joined by David from Retro Effect, and together we're going to be taking an updated look at Snapshot. Now, David, I've not had the chance to play this game before. Can you give me the quick overview of what Snapshot is?
So in Snapshot, you play as Pick, who's this little robot, and you can take photographs of objects in the world.
Okay.
When you take the photographs of the object, it captures them in the pictures, and you can later paste the pictures into the world and all the objects will fall back out.
So sort of like how in ancient times, they thought the camera could trap a person's soul.
Right, yeah, exactly. Exactly like that. Except this is capturing all the objects in the level as opposed to just, I guess, metaphysical objects.
And as we're seeing here, we're using them to navigate a dark space, but you're also going to be using this mechanic to solve more complex puzzles, correct?
Right, right. There's so in this level that we're seeing right now, it's super dark, so we're basically pushing around these light orbs with us so that we can see all these various items that we want to take photographs of.
Okay.
And so we can see where we're actually going. In future levels, there's a whole bunch of physics-based gameplay. There's a bunch of stuff that has to do with parallax, and like it gets pretty crazy.
So as the player, how do you know which items in the environment you can take photos of?
So there's a few things. General rule of thumb is anything that's not part of the world, anything that's like a free object that's walking around, or
such as elephants.
Exactly, such as elephants. And as long as it fits inside the photo reticule, the size of the picture. If you stack a whole bunch of items together and you take one photograph of all of them, they'll all be caught in a single photo.
And then is there a limit to how many photos you can have banked at a time?
You can have 3 photos banked at any time, and there's no limit to the number of objects that can be in a single photo.
Okay. So tell us about the puzzle mechanic behind this stage.
So what you just saw a second ago was there was a snowball over in this no photo zone here, which means that I couldn't take a photo of it where it started. And I rolled it out to the right and took a photo of it. And because it was rolling to the right when I took a photo of it, when I pasted it up here, it continued rolling to the right, which is exactly what I needed.
It carries that inertia with it.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And you'll see that type of gameplay in a whole bunch of puzzles throughout the game. Yeah, I think in the next level as well.
These stages here, we've jumped ahead just a little bit in the main campaign to some later on stages. Is this about the halfway point?
So what we're looking at now is a collection of demo levels that we thought was a pretty good...
A good cross-section.
Yeah, a good collection of what the kind of gameplay is you'll see in Snapshot. So in this level, we have this guy up here who's in this no photo zone, so I can't take a photo of him where he currently is. And he's launching these projectiles down, right? So I want to avoid those. There's all these spikes on the ground, so I can't walk over there, but I know I need to get over there because I can see stars.
And we've got a box in a no photo zone as well,
so
that's no good.
So I can't do anything with that yet, right? So what I need to do is go over here and snap a photo of one of these projectiles while it's moving, bring it over here, and then rotate it so it's aiming in this direction. And then when I release it, the projectile will launch out the bottom.
Oh, nice!
So that's the same direction it was moving in originally. And now I'm free
and now we have our box.
Right, exactly.
So is there any sort of character progression? Does your character ever learn any new moves, learn any new techniques?
There's no...
Or is it just manipulating the tools that you have available?
It's more of, as opposed to your character interacting with the environment and changing how your character is, it's more of like the photo mechanic and changing what the photo mechanic is interacting with the environment as you're going through. So the first chapter of the game is a lot of taking photos of objects and transplanting them to different parts of the level and manipulating where the items are in the level.
Okay.
The second chapter starts to do more with physics, which is where this level is here now, it came from. And the third level has to do with sort of your perspective on things. Which I guess is the only way I can really put it.
Okay.
And then the fourth and final chapter has, which is when you go back to the laboratory that the robot was built in, has these zones in it where you can duplicate the objects that are within it. So you can put an object in one of these copy zones, we'll call them, and when you take a photograph of it, it captures it in the picture, but it also leaves the original. Which brings in this interesting mechanic because you can walk the main character into these, take a photograph of yourself,
oh no,
and then paste a copy of yourself
no.
in the game. Right. And then you have two characters traversing the world at the same time. And there's a whole bunch of gameplay impulses based on that as well.
So I want to just real quick, these 4 sort of cut out circles down at the bottom of the screen. What are those?
Those are 4 different medals that you can unlock for each set of 3 levels in the game, the way it's laid out. So one is for just beating all 3, one is for collecting all the stars in all levels, one is for beating the developer times that we've set on them, and one is for finding all of the hidden items in the level. So there's a hidden item in every single level. You have to take a photograph of it and bring it back to the main lobby.
All right, David, well, as we're wrapping up here, as we can see on the signs all around, the game is out now, correct?
Right. We just launched it on Steam yesterday, so you can purchase it there. You can find the soundtrack for the game as well, which has over 100 minutes of music that was composed directly for this game, and lots of that isn't found in the actual game itself.
Oh, awesome.
Which is fantastic. We're going to be launching on a Mac version coming up soon on Steam, and then we'll also be doing a PlayStation Vita and a PlayStation 3 version, which will have a bunch of features that will work nicely together between those two versions.
Wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for taking the time to demo your game for us.
Thank you.
All right, take care, man.